So I'll just double check that. Hopefully everyone's there. Sorry about that. Second technical problem that we had. Look, thanks for everyone that turned out last time. Over 1,000 views, so that was wonderful. Thank you for all the people that logged on and all the questions. If I haven't got back to the people that asked questions, I've had the flu for the last couple of weeks and been absolutely living on Codrils. So I will get back to them, or let me know tonight and I'll make sure I get to them. Look, going on the feedback from last time, this looks like it works, so hopefully we can do that into the future. Last time I did this, I was talking about my platform, so if you've missed that, go back and have a look at that. But certainly, I've put that up on my website. I've got a PDF of my platform as well if you want to download it and throw it around the mess room table. I'm really pleased how it all worked. Last time there was a big push in the first half of this year around updating your details. It was absolutely massively done. Nearly 10% of the membership logged on, changed their details, which is great. That means more people will be voting, or hopefully be voting. They'll get their ballot papers, and I think that's really good for our union. What I want to talk a little bit about is the work of the state committee, as the work of a state committee official. Nominations are open, so if you want to have a crack at that, I'll quickly run through some of that. They're open for another week. I've really enjoyed speaking to all the people who have given me a call and asked about what the role of a state committee official is. It's been a really good experience talking to all those people, and hopefully they nominate. Look, one of the good things about having lots of nominations and lots of people having a go is that it makes our union strong, and it brings different ideas into the organisation, and brings different points of view: regional, metro, permanent, retained. We all come from different walks of life. Obviously, men, women, different backgrounds, and I think that's really, really important. So put your nomination in if you're considering it. The process for that is they're open for another week. After that, there is then a week to withdraw your nominations. Everyone gets to see the people that they're running against. You give them a call if you want and see what they are. They might, talk you into either running or not running. So I think that's a really good thing as well. Bios. So if you are running, if you go to my website, I've put all the candidates' bios up that have sent them to me. There's a couple more to go up this weekend when I get a chance. But if you are going to have a run, then please, send me your bio. I'll stick it up, and more members can see who you are, what you are, and hopefully ask you some questions. Hi, Aaron. Hi, McNair. Hi, Sandy. Hi, everyone that's logging on. It's really good to see you guys there. It's I suppose the only other thing that I would say, if you guys have been following my Facebook, which obviously most of you people are, because that's where you're at right now, I put up what the roles of a state committee official are. If you're thinking about having nominating, have a look at those. I don't expect everyone to be doing those things first month, but certainly that's where a state committee official needs to be at, into the future. So make sure you have a look at that. And I'm happy to go to a few questions if we've got any. Oh, right, so everyone's just saying hello and what's their name on Facebook. Hello, Mo, Mick. Yeah, so the people that watched last time, I got a rag to, and I've got lots of water. So thank you very much, everyone, ribbing me from the last episode. Thank you, Mick. Hello, Chad. I'm just looking at, we got Tony Cybery. The SO out there at 101, I think. Great to hear you doing this again. Thanks, mate. Yeah, look, pleasure to work with you for the month of January. Had a really good time back on the trucks. You know, turned out some really good jobs, working with some really good people. So that was really, really good. Got enough water with you, mate. Yeah, thanks, Mick. So anyone got any questions, send them to me. Look, I'll give you a brief update. Anyone that is following my Facebook would have realised that I did a couple of things today. I went to an event at Fire Rescue, what the new headquarters is at Chullora. It's a little bit hard to get used to. They had obviously it's International Women's Day today, so attended one of the events that they held with a keynote speaker from Marion Baird, very, very clever woman. Really interesting insight into, you know, how different things affect different parts of society. So that was a really good speech. But straight after that, it was into the Fire Services Joint Standing Committee. I suppose a lot of people don't know that the union has a legislated committee that we're a part of. It's with the Fire Rescue, the RFS, the RFSA, and ourselves, and that's where we get to talk about everything fire service, fire boundaries, how the fire services complement each other, and it's certainly where I get to, or the State Secretary gets to, advocate on behalf of Fbeu members. So, look a little bit more about that a little bit later on. Looks like we've got a few questions. So Jeff Craig is asking if I have a sponsor in Mount Franklin Water. No, look, Sydney Tap at the moment. Thanks, Jeff. Up there in the Blue Mountains. Let me see. Owen's got a pretty brief question, Owen. It's the new branding campaign, Fire Rescue New South Plus. Look, interesting. If you checked out our last sit rep, we talked about the branding. We got the state committee last week got a briefing from Fire Rescue about the branding. Look, we'll reserve our judgment until we get a bit more details about funding and how it's being funded, how much money they're spending on it. They're saying nothing at the moment, just part of the future PPC and trucks and stuff like that. But look, I'm supportive, I suppose, of anything that makes Fbeu members more connected to the community. It's a good idea that the community knows who we are, what we do. It certainly makes my job a little bit easier when I go to meet lots of politicians and say, look, we need more resources, we need more money for training, need more fire stations opened. So what would be good, I suppose, out of Fire Rescue is all the other stuff, though. I mean, it's not just about a badge on the arm. You know, if you have been reading SITREP or if you've been a little bit aware, you know, they've reduced the staffing at the Easter show from Captain and 6 down to Captain and 1. You know, 850,000 people go through the Easter show every year, and certainly it'd make a whole lot more sense if we had Captain and 6 there rather than Captain and 1. But anyway, look, that's another industrial issue that we'll keep to the side. So look, I don't think that's the be-all and end-all to the branding saga, and keep an eye on SITREP for going forward. So Stuart plus Willick says hello. Hi Stu, very, very clever. Stuart, everyone will know now, you will now know who you are even more, that you've got a plus in your name. Aaron Ross. Oh, political question. Here we go. Been some talk of tickets. Are you affiliated with any other candidate? Look, no, I'm not. I've been quite clear. I'm not running a ticket this year. It was brought to my attention that on Facebook, one of these Facebook sites that's popped up, that I asked a certain person to run for president. I certainly haven't, and I'm not going to be asking anyone to run on a ticket with me. And look, I think there's a reason. I think, you know, an open democracy where people get out there and bring their individual ideas to a table and work as a collective going forward is the way that our union should move. I'll be upfront with you though. Look, I'll be looking at the field. And if people ask me who I think they should vote on, I suppose I have, as a state committee official, you've probably got a bit of experience of who you think might work well. Look, I'll be upfront about that. I think I'll be saying, look, I think this person looks like they've got the skill set or the passion or the drive to take this union forward. So, I would just go back to the ticket idea. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 phone calls from people who I'd never spoken to before. Their bios will be going up on my website, and I think they've got some really interesting ideas. So, I'm certainly open to, anyone and working with anybody moving forward. Interesting question here from Mo Haddad, 19%. I think Mo's referencing the much, announced pay deal down there in Melbourne. Look, I haven't pulled the detail apart of the 19%. Let's be clear. I don't think it's 19% in 1 year. It'll probably be staggered over a certain number of years. And then, if you put it into context of looking at I don't think they had a pay rise for over 5 or 6 years. So I'd imagine this whole 19%, and look, let's be honest, the media like to get as much traction as they can. I'd say that's over 5, 6, 7 years. Like I said, I haven't dug all the detail into that yet. And when it does come through, we'll probably report on that as well. Andy Haas, State Committee official down in Illawarra at the moment. F plus B plus E plus U, very well done. Maybe they should have hired you over there at Fire Rescue. You've tripled their output just in that, so that's good. Hello, John O'Black. Haven't caught up with you ages, mate. So we need to have a coffee at some stage. That'd be really good. Mo, you're killing me here. What's this? You got more questions. Fbeu and members possibly rejoining the United Firefighters Union, not under my watch. Well, look, I'll be upfront with this. I have heard other people talking about the UFU. Certainly, the reason why we left the UFU 6, 7 years ago was around a whole raft of reasons. Jump on the forum and have a look at those reasons. They are still valid today. Their governance and legal, which the Fbeu is absolutely, top class on, certainly hasn't. We haven't seen the movement that we need to rejoin any national union. The mail that I'm getting is that there's certainly the other branches of the UFU aren't necessarily particularly happy with the way the national union's going, and I don't see any need for us at the moment to join the national union. Look, we are the biggest union in this country, firefighting union in this country, and at the moment we are doing well on our own. We're the only one with D&D and a good D&D fund. We're the only one that have got standard SLM3 on every appliance. We are the leaders in this country when it comes to fire service and a union. So, yeah, look, I mean, if they start, providing something that, we all left that union for, then we'll obviously have a think about it, but not until then. So there's something here from Brinky, and I won't be reading that, Brinky, because we're in New South Wales. There you go. Members can take that on. There's a question here from Matty Rogers. What's your vision for Fire Rescue New South Wales expansion country areas retained and or permanent? Yeah, great question. Look, I mean, I don't think we should be just talking, and one of the things that I've been hopefully very clear about, we need to grow this job. Now, we grow the job in regional areas, we grow the job in the metro, everywhere is growing in New South Wales. We all know the forecast of the population explosion. We all know things are getting, either, in the metro they're getting higher and more dense, or in regional they're expanding. So certainly going forward, we need to be taking over the urban development. A lot of the work that I've been doing on the fire services, the fire district boundary reviews has been around that. again, it comes down to more retained jobs, more permanent jobs, more op support jobs, more LFs, SOs, firefighters. Again, we need to start expanding and taking over those roles. And look, I've seen one of the candidates put up a different version on my Facebook about how we do boundary reviews. I think there's some really interesting ideas that he has. And look, and if he gets through on this election, then I think it'd be really good working with him and exploring how we can do that and pushing that with the boundary reviews. Taking that back to, I suppose, this is why we need everyone to nominate and put their hand up. Now, you don't need to be a sub-branch secretary to do that. You can jump on the sub-branch executive. You could just send your idea into your sub-branch secretary or send it into the office. I mean, all of these ideas are good ideas. You don't necessarily need to run for the union, but if you've got that passion, got that drive, if you want to see fire rescue and the Fbeu be the world-class service that we keep getting told that we are, then stick your hand up and have a go with this. So I'm just looking at Bren. Hi, Bren. It was great to see you the other night at one of the candidates forums. There's been plenty of talk in relation to the why we even entertaining idea. 30 minutes. Hang on, sorry, it's a long one. I'll go to see more. There we go. 35 minutes after the time of call, which is apparently an acceptable level of response. It's certainly not an acceptable level of response to me, and it's certainly the things that I'm bringing up in the committees when I go and discuss boundary reviews. Look, I think I've spoken to you about this, Brendan. Once the RFS, has AVL on their vehicles, let's be honest, that is the ultimate boundary. You would get rid of boundary reviews. There would be no lines on a map. You would start talking about who's the most appropriate resource, and then you would send it. Now, obviously, there's a feeling that the RFS are dragging their feet on that. My understanding in the committees that I go to is that they're looking into it. But again, going back to, I suppose, the question around RBRP, we'll be certainly advocating the best for our members and you, obviously, and we won't accept a crappy deal. You brushed my question. Oh, hang on, Chad. I'll go back to your question, Chad. Don't be a typical runner-up and selective call what you go to. Now, funnily enough, I was at Parramatta, and hi to all the Parramatta guys that are out there. We certainly didn't shirk any calls out there, except for those ones that may be at 3 in the morning. I'll just dig back, mate, and see where your question was. Any updates or your opinion on the newly discussed pathways to inspector relieving ops support inspector? Oh, look. I've had a meeting with the Senior Officers Sub-Branch. They've put their view, they voted on that. That was a really good meeting, really constructive meeting. And they've put their view to State Committee. State Committee at this stage have taken I think a reasonable position, which is going to get, we've had initial conversations with the department. Oh, look, I don't want to go too much into that at the moment. Obviously, it's a live issue. I probably won't be doing talking about negotiations live over the internet with everybody. But I think one of the issues we've got is about, one of the things that we all understand is that our job is a pyramid. We have 10,000 people coming into a recruit. We go up to LF. We've got 1,600 odd, roughly, senior fireys trying to become LFs, LFs trying to become SOs, so forth and so forth. How do we get more promotions? As in more, we grow the job. We have more stations opened. The more stations we open, the more inspectors we have. Therefore, we have the more SOs, more LFs, the more superintendents. That's how I think we're going to get more promotions, where more people can access them. So, but look, Chad, I'll pop out to the college and have a chat to you and anyone else, probably more face to face around live negotiations. As you can understand, I don't want to prejudice our position. Hi the department who are obviously watching. So, hi Brinky, how are you? Hi to everyone that's logged on. Thank you very much for joining us. Where's Brinky's? Brinky, look, there's lots of aircon. okay? I've got the door open this time, I've got my glass of water, and I've even got my little, little wag here. So I'm doing much better, and it's certainly not 39 degrees like it was last time. Any other questions coming in? Sam Jones has got a question about training and going back to an off-shift training model. Look, it's interesting. Training is expensive. I mean, we all understand that. The off-shift training model was probably the most expensive model that we had, and as it should be. I mean, that's how you get a higher level of training. It's intense. It's over a longer period of time. We all understand that. But again, if we're going to keep copying budget cuts, then we're not going to see expanses into training. We're not going to see growth anywhere. Now, we go back to my platform again, grow the job. Right, how do we go and secure more budget from the government? And that is by moving into areas that we should have already taken over. Part 2, change the rules. We need to go back out and be able to fight in the IRC to get a better deal. So that's where we need to go with that. And I think we need to start, I suppose, looking at the small issues that we've got and move as a collective about how we go and get more. Now, I think that's really, really important. I speak a lot at my candidates forums about politicising this membership and getting us active. And I get a lot of scared looks at this, like, oh, I don't want to vote this, don't want to vote that. It's not about that at all. You can vote Labor, you can vote Green, hopefully you vote Labor. You can vote Green. Hopefully you put the Liberals last. But even if you vote Liberal, you are still the membership. But you can still be active, and we can still be a weapon as part of that. And we will leverage off our brand of who we are as firefighters, what we do in this community, and we use that to get what we need and get what we want. And that's what I'll be doing over the next 6 to 9 months before the next state election. I got Brendan. Brand, thank you. Look, I've been watching Sandy Linton's posting up vanilla slices, absolutely trolling me on Facebook at the moment. So look, very much appreciated. Let me know which bakery you get it from. Hello, Brett. Evening, Leighton. You spoke about increasing LF numbers. I believe the current cap is set at 200. What number? Hang on a sec. Hitting more. Will it become where it is an uncapped number? Will comms become recognised as a... Okay, look, Brett, this is there's so many questions in there, so I'll keep it to maybe LF numbers and the current cap. So with the legislation that we've got at the moment, anytime we increase a number that puts more money onto the labour expense, so if we go from 200 to 300 LFs, obviously there's a cost involved, okay? The legislation says at the moment that we need to either find the cost savings internally or we don't have that. So it comes back to changing the rules. So the boss thinks and the government thinks that we need to just keep playing with the same size pie and just carving it up into smaller pieces. It's this whole more with less concept that you hear across government, even through the job now. Come on, guys, we need to do more. We need to do. I am so against that. We need to get back to the principles of, if you want us to do more, we do it with more. It is more with more, not more with less. So if we want more LF numbers, we shouldn't have to cannibalise things. We should just go, right, there's a need for an extra 50 LFs. That's what it is. That's where we're going. And again, go back to growing my job. How do we get more LFs? We go and open up more fire stations. So hopefully that is it. Dave Allen, thank you. Hi, Dave, up there on the Central Coast. Are you wearing thongs? Look, what happens underneath this table stays underneath this table. The State Secretary must have one little bit of dignity. Thanks, Dave. Corey Nisbet. I'm ignoring you, Jum. You're asking way too many. Ignoring you, Mo. You're asking way too many questions. And flirting with Jimmy Castle way too much. Hi, Log. Sorry if this is Corey Nisbet's question. Sorry if it's been asked, but what is your opinion on internet union voting? Good. Look, Hi Corey, jump on my platform or on my website. I'll be putting up rule changes that I'll be asking the state committee to adopt and the membership to look at if I get elected. It is a new way of voting for us. I think one of the things that I really want to do is engage and connect with the membership a whole lot more. And what we're going to be doing is going back to a voting system of 7 members at a branch. So at the moment, obviously, people can't get to all the meetings. What will happen, we'll have an SGM. You'll run multiple meetings at your station. So you just get 7 members, you get an adjoining station over, 2 crews together. How we actually get the information out to people, which is quite important. You know, one of the biggest things about internet voting is about how you get the information about what you're voting on, and it's about how we have that conversation. And I think we need to be doing those things as a collective. So look, yeah, my view is that we change how we do our voting. We do it at a branch level, and you know, my view is that basically, if you can turn up to work, you'll be able to vote. That's how I see things moving into the future. Internet or e-voting or anything along those. Look, I'm always open to those things. A lot of literature around those things. Still haven't got it down solid yet. What we've got, I think, government certainly don't want to move towards it. Obviously, this is the voice and all that sort of stuff. But when it comes down to serious organisations that obviously are run by a set of rules, and a lot of our rules are done by the Industrial Relations Commission and Industrial Relations Act. So we need to keep things as tight in a governance way as we can. So certainly I'll be changing the way people can access voting. I think moving back to a station-based system, which works really well in the country. So the country sub-branch can do that itself, so can retain branches. If you looked at the last couple of votes, they had higher participation rates. So I think, you know, bringing that into Metro will be a good thing. Hi Rex. Hello Rexy Hunt up there, up at Bathurst. Are we in or out on medical first responder? It's coming. I don't know, is it? I certainly don't think it is. I mean, the boss can say what he wants. He's certainly been telling us that we'll be doing medical work for the last 10 years. And what's it worth? Well, look, you know, the membership have taken position on that. It's worth 12.5%. It's worth good mental health services, and it's worth training. And to be honest, I'll go take it back a step. It's mental health services that the membership agreed to, and it's training that the membership agreed to. Now, that's the position members have taken. I've got a different view on this. Go back and watch my last Facebook Live that I did. I was pretty clear about where I'm at. I was on the sub-branch executive of the Sydney West sub-branch that, you know, we held one of the largest sub-branch meetings in our union's history, and we said no to MFR. You know, we said that for a number of reasons, and I think they're still very valid today. We're not ambulances. I think if you look at what we're doing right now, would anyone say that the core work that we're doing is you know, are we doing it well? Are we getting trained in it well? The answer is no. So I think that's how we need to grow this job in hazmat, firefighting, storm and tempest work that obviously we're picking up now. Now that's where we need to be growing our job. You know, retained in regional areas with their CFIR model, I think that's a totally separate issue, and I certainly don't think I'm against that. I wouldn't really mind seeing growth in that, because obviously those communities don't have an ambulance, don't have anything. But you know, if we're looking at that model for MFR, which is basically the permanent model, I think we have an ambulance service that should be well funded. Hello, Robert Slade. Are you really going to push for the vanilla slices to be tax deductible? Look, mate, yep, I'll be holding an SGM. You know, maybe we'll have a little stop work meeting on whether that should occur. Thanks, mate. Hello, Mick. Sorry, and if I get this wrong, Suscal, any updates on boundary issues with RFS And flyers, well, look, we all know of the famed Cumberland Flyer. We've got, we finally got them to come and have a meeting with us and the other agencies next week. So look, get in contact with me either through the union office or through my page if you want, and I'll give you an update on what came out of that meeting. Hi, Andrew Townsend. Yes, it does work. Just say no to MFR. Thank you for that. And look, yes, Andrew's one of the guys that's nominated for a position. We'll be putting his bio up on the website and the Facebook shortly. So hi to Andrew. Hi, Peter Inns. Thoughts on the new name and the reason behind it? Yeah, look, I've spent 5 minutes sort of having a bit of a giggle at that in the middle there, Peter. But look, is it a new name? I mean, it's still fire and rescue, and for most of us, it's still New South Wales Fire Brigades. Look, I understand the reasoning behind it. Whether that reasoning they'll be able to pull it off, you know, I'm not going to put bullets into it here, but look, I suppose my issue is that we still, you know, where's the direction that we're going? And you know, I think I'll be, you know, the union will be probably providing that over the next 12 months. And we still need more money. I mean, the baseline comes down to we need more money, we need to grow, we need more, you know, more money into training. You know, we need, you know, you're not going to hear too much out of a union official about appliances and these things out, but you know, where's our aerial fleet? You know, these are the things that we need. And you know, look, I understand the reasoning about the whole new branding, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to translate into cash. But you know, I guess that's where the union can sit out there and advocate like I've been doing for the last year. So thank you very much for your question. Yeah. So Brinky, talking about previous tickets, push the line that hazmat in the country would be up for permission manning. Don't really understand that, Brinky. Look, you're talking about a regional hazmat. 2 scoms on and nothing has changed with you. Will you push this hard enough for it to go? So I suppose a couple of things have happened there, Brinky. Look, we've got a Liberal government that has put budget cuts on, labour expense cap, and they don't want to pay money into this fire service. And yet here we are, the union's still been growing the job. Carry On's gone 10-14, Tamworth's gone 10-14. You know, we're doing a fair bit of expanding. If you look at what we're doing, can we do more? Yeah, we have to. Let's get back to, I suppose, part of my platform again, grow the job, absolutely. Should we concentrate on the regional areas? Well, yes, but at the same time, we need to concentrate across the job. You know, we've got to take the opportunities where they come. Metro, retained. Sorry, Metro, regional, permanent, retained. We need to grow the whole job. You know, it is you know, astounding that, you know, we're not taking over the areas that we should, and when we do take over those areas, you know, the growth will come. Now, I suppose the other question about that is, you know, how are we going to do that? How are we going to get the more funding? Well, again, it comes back to changing the rules, and part of that, you know, is changing this government or changing its mind. So at the moment, they'd rather build a $2.5 billion, you know, sports stadium rather than funding fire stations or building new fire stations. Now, so we've got to change those priorities and make us, you know, more important than a new stadium. Hi, Andrew again. I'll leave that word out. It's tricky to answer the phone, fire plus rescue, but I guess people will get used to it. Yeah, good call. Mick here, where's the money from the rebranding come from? I'm sure this could be better spent. Look, if there is extra money, then I totally agree with you. The information I've got, it's just going to roll out as PPC rolls out and new trucks roll out. I imagine there's still money being spent on that, and I'll certainly be looking in that and holding the department to account if they have been that. Dave there. Hello, Dave. Log from thank you for acknowledging there is a world beyond the CBD. Absolutely, Dave. Look, our membership, this job goes around the state. Like, it's simple as that. You know, gone are the days of the view, I suppose, that it's Sydney, Newcastle, Wollongong. You know, we're up at Bangalow, we're at Tweed, we're at Albury. You know, we're at Broken Hill. You know, so you're certainly not going to. I certainly don't have that view that we are the old, Newcastle, Sydney, Wollongong Brigade. Thank you for acknowledging the great work you have done traveling. Thanks, Dave. Traveling the state, engaging with members at more stations than the department management. Are people starting to understand the limits we face? Yeah, look, it's been a really good outside of electioneering, I did a lot of visits last year. You know, I went to Tweed. I went to, as far out as Dubbo, Broken Hill. I will get there. I went down to Albury, Batemans Bay, Wagga, Temora, Goulburn, Queanbeyan, and it was really good just having a chat with members about all these different pressures that we face. You know, the labour expense cap. You know, what was it? How does it work? How does it affect us as members? The 2.5% wage cap. You know, what does that mean to us? How do we get pay rises over 2.5%? You know, some of the campaigning that I've been doing, and if you check out, my Facebook, we did a bit of an industrial, IR 101. That was really useful, I thought, explaining sort of simply about how that stuff works. And again, we get back to, my view is that, we need to get out there and change those rules. We need to get out there and say, look, we need to be able to go down the IRC and fight for if you want us to take on X or change the way that we do here, well, then here's the cost of it, and we don't have to fund it internally. So that's my view on that. So thanks, Dave. Good question. So Mo chatting about the Dragons. Look, Mo, why don't you jump on Messenger with Brinky? And you guys can chat football all day. Yeah. So Ian's here talking about management having a go for not doing our 33% call out per mouth when we haven't had a call out for almost a week. Yeah, look, I've been discussing this with the retained sub-branch secretary and his executive. I've had some really good chats with Sandy Linton. And if you look, for all the retained out there, your executive at the moment is Phil Gardner, Sandy Linton, Paul Casey, and Johnny Dunn. Get in contact with them, let them know your ideas around this stuff. I'm always looking at different views and different ways, I suppose, how the retained interact with availability and so forth. So, look, if we can come up with a better system, absolutely. Hello, Lockie Ha. Congratulations, Lockie Haas. Congratulations on nominating. I'd love to see your gritty facts that you sent out. Changing the rules. Big part is having a Labor government elected, so why don't we re-affiliate with the New South Wales branch of the ALP to ensure we will get what we want? Look, yeah, interesting conversation there, Lachlan. Look, I think as an independent union that we are at the moment, we play in a certain way. We bash up whoever we need to bash up, and we obviously go and do deals with different people that we do. Is a Labor government going to do all the things we do? Not without pressure from unions. Simple as that. It's still the unions in this state that are out there advocating for the working class. They're the ones that are out there taking it up to the boss and taking it up to government, no matter who's in government. But certainly, they are certainly a much better option than, I suppose, than the current government that we've got. So I agree with you on that respect. What station? Sorry, there's something from Scotty there. I don't understand that, Scotty. You might want to rejig that one. Mitchell Dean, also, any more plans or talk about any other station going 24? Cheers. Look, yeah, hi Mitch, how's things? Look, I've been doing a lot of advocating for a few different station areas at the moment. I'm not going to say them live because, like I said, there's probably a little bit of work to do to get that, and a little bit of politics involved. So not only hire that department, but hello any other political parties that are looking. But certainly, this is an election year, obviously not for the union, but obviously the next year is the election run up to the state election. There's been a lot of work done in the background with different MPs, and certainly moving forward, going into this next budget, we'll be advocating for obviously more jobs and certainly more stations. So keep your eye on that. Hi Keeves, thanks Leighton for your time. Great information, but I have to go now and do some more serious Facebook stalking. Thanks mate. Catch up with you soon. McNair, update on what is happening with training and job at the moment. So look, training is a bit of a concern at the moment. I won't get too technical here, but certainly a lot of the budget cuts seem to be back-ended into training and ELT. And that directorate. I think the union will be looking at that more closely and be advocating for more money out of this government, and certainly out of the Labor government if they do get elected next year. Some of the stuff that we do around the TRC, and thank you for that question, Mick's a bit of a dixer. McNair, funnily enough, is on the Training Review Committee, so if you've got any ideas about training, have a chat to the Sydney South Sub-Branch Secretary. And look, I'll chat about that. So a lot of the things the union does you probably don't realise. We've got a training review committee that it's actually in our ward. State committee officials sit on that, certainly with our industrial officers, and they go and discuss any new training or different types of training that fire rescue or we want to bring into the job. And we thrash out the industrial concerns and make sure that it ticks boxes and advocate for members on that. So, if you've got ideas about training, the email is always open, the phone is always open, and our rep on that is Mick Nan. He's down there in the Sydney South Sub-Branch, and Wes Smith, who's the City Sub-Branch Secretary at the moment. So have a chat to those guys, and if not, just email the office. So, there we go. Time left, we've got 3 minutes, so if you've got any last questions, sending them in. Okay, so hang on a sec. Mo, thanks. Yes, thank you, comrade. Haddad, great platform to keep the membership forward. Cheers, Muddy. Are there any plans for a push to change the definition of retained firefighters in the Fire Act? Look, Nicole, maybe give me a bit more detail on that. Send me an email so I can, respond to that. Hi log from Luke Chalmers. Hi Luke, how's things down there on the beaches? Health checks. Will the independent medical be supplied past medical records from when assessing firefighters? Yeah, look, good question, Luke. That's some of the detail that we're still nutting out with the department. We're back in the IRC next Thursday from memory. And that stuff is still to be nutted out. So I suppose the bones of the award was determined by the full bench in December last year, and now I suppose all the meat to go on those bones are going to be thrashed out over the next week, and I'll keep you updated on that. So Simon King, hi Simon. What are you doing to stop country retained stations from being closed? There is talk of 2 stations being closed due to cost, but yet they can put money into a stupid name change. Yeah, look, Simon, absolutely. I haven't heard where those 2 stations are, so if you want to send me a PM or get in contact with the office, let us know. We haven't got that mail. One of the first things I did as secretary, they were trying to close Western Fire Station up there in the Lower Hunter, around the Cessnock area. And we fought and kept that fire station open. Still more work to do there. Hi, the comrades out of Western and Aberdeen. There's still more work to do there to get the staffing up to the levels that the department promised. But that's the sort of stuff this union does. We fight for not just permanents, obviously, and the retained, and we certainly won't like seeing retained stations closed. And let me know where they're at so I can start looking into that for you. So only 2 more seconds of questions, but I'll try and answer the rest for you. One here from Owen, 19 to swap for yet no money for training the people who turn out. Yeah, I'll take that as a comment. Owen, look, if they have been spending that cash, we'll certainly be having a chat to them about that. Mick Nan, will there be more of these sessions? Will there be more after you're elected? Look, yeah, look, and Mick Nan, from my understanding, is nominated for president. So look, Mick, if I could talk you into doing some of these with me, that'd be wonderful. Look, I am going to do one more. That's the one I got planned. I'm trying to work out the logistics about having a candidate's couch. I haven't quite worked out whether my, wonderful tech guy can pull all that off, but hopefully we could have like a whole bunch of candidates up here, maybe a couple on the phone. But again, we're just trying to work out the logistics of that. That'll probably be after nominations are in and everyone's withdrawn, and obviously I'll give everyone the opportunity to jump in on that as well. So good question. And last one from Chad Willis, the footy is on, go the Steelers, go the Eels. Look, thank you very much everyone for jumping in. Key dates going forward. Nominations close next week. The withdrawal of your nominations the week after that. Ballots will go out the 5th of April and they have to be in by the 26th of April. Again, everyone vote. Vote for me, obviously, but look, just vote. The strength that we have and the leverage that we have as a union when people turn up and vote and they're engaged in their union is, better for us, better for you, and better for the FBEU. So sorry for any of the questions that I missed. If a couple of people want to send me a bit more detail about the ones that I asked, I'll try and get back to you. If anyone's got any other questions, jump on our FBU in Facebook. I've answered a few questions there from different people. If you've got one, I can PM them, I can answer them live, on the front page, or just send you the answer if you wish. So, oh, come on, Chad, that's nasty. Bronto's operator's blue recliner. My recliner was brown, mate, come on. And my slippers were fantastic. So on that note, thank you very much for tuning in. Look, if you thought this was good, give me some feedback on my Facebook. Look, if you thought it was crap and, people didn't know about it, let me know that as well. And, we'll see where we go with that. So thank you very much for tuning in.